Good morning, I'm Aaron Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. So glad to have you with us on this Wednesday morning. And we just learned that it's going to be 100 degrees today. Or 90.
98 today, 101 tomorrow. But then I looked ahead, and it looks like we got rain coming, Aaron. The weather app shows that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday next week it has
that's
a little rain.
That's a whole week away.
It has the rain symbol, and it's in the 80s.
Oh, like that's cool.
No, but comparatively.
That's true.
But I'm like doubtful, you know?
Yeah, I believe it when I see it.
I think they're teasing us. It's like the weather app's got a sense of humor suddenly, and it's like, yeah, I'm just going to tease you.
It was a drunken night for those meteorologists.
Oh, right.
That's a sick, cruel joke.
It is.
I'm just saying.
It is. Yeah, I'm ready for the cooler weather. I mean, officially it is fall. Of course, we know that doesn't mean much around here.
Because we don't really have a fall.
In Southern California.
It's the rest of the country is, wearing, well, the northern part of the country, they're starting to wear their fall clothing. And there's all this beautiful clothing that hit the stores midsummer to wear during the fall, except if you live in a place like the desert Southwest, which is essentially where we are, that's end of October.
So 25 years ago, you and I got married in the middle of October.
And the weather was beautiful.
And the weather was beautiful. And we picked the middle of October because we knew that was just when you really could kind of start to count on getting some fairly regular, nice days where it wasn't blazing hot or freezing cold. Not that it ever gets freezing cold, but it was that you really could get some nice, beautiful weather. And so we had a little fall wedding.
We did. We actually had rain, which is good luck on your wedding day.
Yeah.
Not that it's bad luck if you don't have rain, but that's the tradition.
And speaking of weddings and anniversaries, I have to send a shout out to a high school friend and his wife, the Hernandezes, Gilbert and his wife Zarina, who just celebrated their 30th wedding anniversary, and they're all the way in New York City, Aaron.
New York City?
Yeah. Now they live out here, but they decided to have a destination getaway 30th anniversary.
How come we didn't do that?
Well, we haven't had 30th anniversary yet.
I know, but we got 25 coming up.
Yeah. I'm just saying. Anyway,
Did I sound whiny
enough? They took their whole family and some friends and went back to New York City and renewed their vows. And the pictures that they have are amazing. There's a picture of them, and I think they're in Central Park, and they've got the skyline of Manhattan behind them with the beautiful trees and all that. And it's just, wow, that picture is just stunning.
So they must love New York because they've been going a lot recently.
Yeah. Zarina, the wife, she actually went there for her 50th birthday last year. And they did a whole bunch of Broadway shows and stuff. And yeah, I think you're right. I think they just love New York. But I just thought it was so cool, and I just love to see people that are still in love after all those years and just doing it right. And I got to give them a shout out. I mentioned our anniversary. I got to mention theirs. That's awesome.
So there is an article that got some serious traction on your Facebook page, and it got some traction on the Inland Empire Teachers Facebook page. Can you talk about it?
Yeah. So people are kind of getting heated up about this teacher in Florida who was fired. She says that she was fired because she gave kids zeros on assignments where they turned in no work, and that the school that she worked at had a no-zero policy. And, a lot of people are not familiar with this policy, but basically in education there's been a lot of discussion around how we grade, and the grading systems that we use can set kids up for failure, right? And that if you look at the top set of grades, the B to an A, the C to a B, the D to a C, they're all separated by 10%, right? They represent a 10% range on the scale. But the F represents a 60% range, all the way from 0 up to 60% where the D range starts.
Yeah, up to 59 point whatever.
Yeah, and so if you give someone a 0, what you're doing is they have to now make up that whole 60% range in order to get back into a passing grade. And so if you give someone an F, a 50% F, it's a more fair and legitimate way to help them to get sort of caught back up when they are ready to catch up.
Okay, so how is I'm going to push back. It's not fair. If they earned a 0, they earned a 0.
They earned an F.
They earned a 0.
They earned an F. An F is an F. The question is, are you going to punish them with an F that basically puts them in a hole that's so deep they'll never get back from? Okay? there is the system is skewed. The system is skewed so that if you're giving zeros, you can create a situation where a kid literally, if they did perfect on everything else, they would never be able to recover. And I've seen it happen.
Well, define recover.
To get their grade back to a passing grade. And once a kid realizes that there's no way for them to ever have any grade in your class other than an F, guess what they do?
Well, they stop doing anything.
They stop doing anything. They completely lose hope, and now you've got behavior problems and you've got other issues because the kid's attitude is, well, why am I even trying?
So then why have the numbers at all? I mean, because essentially what you've said is you can do nothing and get 50%.
No, listen, 50% is an F. They're
but
failing.
It's not far from a D.
Trust me, for the kid who's got that, it's still plenty far, okay? I know that, we grew up in a system where this was not even discussed. And here's the thing, too, is that, when you hand back the paper to the kids, they're not doing math and going, oh, my gosh, I'm here, I'm there. They just realize that they got the F, right? And, and so, but what happens is when the kid comes to you and they really are starting to engage and say, hey, what do I need to do to pass your class, if you show them that they're at a 20% overall grade in your class or a 30% overall grade because you've been giving zeros, that kid realizes, I can't pass. There's no way I can get it back to a grade. But if you've been giving 50% and their grade now is at a 53% overall, and they go, oh, okay, so what do I have to do? And they can begin to crawl back and get to a better grade. And you can engage these kids. And there's lots of reasons that kids don't do the work, right? And I've been having this sort of discussion with folks online. I teach in a school that has a lot of kids that have challenges in their life. Last year I had 11 kids that were in foster care. I had 3 young men in my classes that had lost their fathers. 2 of them, one lost their dad 2 weeks before the school year started. The other one lost his dad a week after the school year started. And those kids didn't recover for the whole year. They never passed my class, even though I was given 50% for stuff that wasn't turned in, and trying to engage them and find ways to connect them and offering all kinds of stuff. Those kids were so screwed up by what had happened in their lives that they basically lost a year of education. Now, my hope is that the next year that they will engage, right? But I'll just tell you, I've seen kids that for some reason they will drop out of school for a little bit, and they're physically there, but mentally they're not. They're going through stuff. Parents are getting divorced, whatever's happening, and then all of a sudden, you give them an assignment, something catches their attention, and they engage again. And that's what this is about. It's about keeping kids engaged and teaching them other ways to deal with things and cope with things. Now, the arguments I'm hearing from the other side, right? And I've got pushback from a lot of friends. One friend in particular who is a businessman who hires a lot of people, and he says, you know what, in my employment, if you're my employee, he has lots of no tolerance policies. If you have someone who shows up, consistently late for work, you fire them. You don't give them second chances. And he's afraid that this sort of 50% policy is kind of like the trophies that are given to everyone for participation, right? And I tried to explain to him that that's not the case because this is not a trophy. This is an F. 50% is an F. The kid is still getting an F, right? You're not patting them on the back and saying, oh, you did so great. You're giving them an F. They failed that assignment. The only thing that's different is that instead of having to climb back 60% to get themselves back up to a passing grade, they only have to climb back 10%, which is like they do for every other grade in the class. Okay,
so I can maybe see you work with middle school kids who for them to think forward ahead number of years and with the impact of that's just impossible for them.
Yeah.
They really live in the here and now in a way that older kids don't. And so I understand in middle school, but when you start moving into high school, because college surely isn't going to do that.
Yeah.
If you don't turn in your assignment, too bad, so sad, sucks to be you.
Yeah. And I begin to train my kids for that. So I have a variety of different policies that are more generous and forgiving for my 7th graders. But by the time they get to me for 8th grade, the policies have shifted and changed. And I'm telling the kids, you don't get those second chances now. When you get to high school, they're not gonna give you those second chances. You've got to get the work done now. You've got to get it done on time. And so, I am preparing and training the kids for that. And I'm teaching them coping strategies and organizational strategies and all kinds of stuff, besides teaching them, which my title is, history.
Now, some of the pushback that you got, did you get pushback from other teachers or people who didn't work in academia?
No, I got pushback from teachers as well. We had a lengthy debate about this at my school site. Our principal brought us all kinds of data. We had lots of articles that we read and discussed as groups, and we didn't agree. We didn't agree. There's plenty of teachers at my school site that still give zeros and feel quite justified in doing so, and that's that. And I think that's fine. I wish that we were able to have this conversation more with our parents, because I sense that some parents would be like, no, if my kid gets a 0, I want them to get the 0. And they want that hard teacher that's going to be like that. And then other parents would be like, no, I get what you're saying. My kid does struggle a little bit, and I would like to see if we can try to get them more engaged. And so, yeah, let's do the 50%. And I think parents should have more choices. And if you're going to have choices, you need the knowledge to know what it is you're choosing, right? And so I think there should be more options and discussion about what they think works. The other piece of the puzzle for me is relationship. The reason I think this works well for me is because I really invest in my kids and get to know them, and that this is a part of the puzzle of building that relationship. The kids know that I've got their best interests at heart, and that gets them to work for me, Different teachers have a different way of relating to kids, and so, but you're right, I got pushback from teachers as well. One of the teachers at my school site sends her kid to a different middle school where she lives in a different community, and they don't do that. They give zeros, and anything below a C is considered failing, basically. And honestly, I tell my students that if they get a D or an F on one of my tests, I said, you didn't pass that test. D's don't count as passing for me, and you want to retake that test and try to get a better grade.
Do most of the teachers who, in your experience, in your professional experience, and I understand that this is anecdotal, but most of the teachers who don't give, don't give 50% for people who should, who earned a 0, do they then allow the kids to make up tests, to do extra credit, to do any of those things?
So there's a wide variety of things that teachers do in that regard. Some teachers are really generous and allow them to do a variety of make-up things. Some people allow them to do it within a very short window. Some allow people to make stuff up, but the highest score you can get is a lower score, because you waited or you had to retake. And so there's a variety of different things that you see from teachers in that regard. I tend to be more on the very generous side of that kind of stuff, especially for 7th graders at the beginning of the year. And by the end of 7th grade, I've tightened it up a little bit. And definitely by the end of 8th grade, it's much more like what you would see in a high school situation. I'm not giving them hardly any opportunities, that there's much more defined expectation. And again, it goes back to that relationship and communicating with the kids. And I tell them from the very beginning, it will get harder as we go along. My expectations will get harder and it will change, and I won't be giving you all of these opportunities and these crutches to help support you, because you're going to have to learn to walk on your own and do this stuff.
Good.
But along the way, I try to be generous because I have lots of kids who have lots of issues, and I don't want them to be punished. A lot of times the things that are going on with kids are completely out of their control. Completely out of their control. You got the kid who shows up late every day because mom is running late every day and she can't get him to school on time. You got the kid who shows up depressed all the time, and it's because his parents are always fighting and they're going through a divorce, and he just feels trapped. You got the kid who never gets their homework done because they're being bounced from one family or one house to the next, and the book was at the house 2 houses ago, and they haven't been able to go back to get the book to do the homework. And so are you going to give them zeros for that? Well,
when you put it that way, well, and I think too, middle school students, we've both heard stories. We saw it with our own kids. They spend the evening doing their homework, and then they don't turn it in. It's in their backpack. You're like, what? You did the homework.
Lost in the black hole of the backpack.
But it's true. It's true.
So our counselors, I wish we had counselors here on the air. Some of them will tell you that they bring these kids in for counseling, and the whole thing is they have them just dump out their backpack, and they spend the time counseling the kid, literally going through their backpack and helping them to organize it. And sometimes they'll do it with the parents there, and they'll invite the parents in and talk to them and say, you need to do this once a week with your kid, because they're that disorganized and that messy.
They are.
That they lose a bunch of stuff. And as the kids go, oh, here's that thing, and then they're like, oh, really? We've gone through all this grief with the teacher because you didn't turn it in and you had it here the whole time. Yeah.
All the parents of middle school kids will remember, know that that's correct. So, well, thank you for that, Tobin. It's not as easy as one would think. It's not as cut and dried as one would think. So, food for thought. With that, it's time for a break. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA. We'll be right back.
Success Partner presents the all-new Yucaipa and Cala Mesa Morning Market, located on the corner of County Line Road and California Street in the city of Yucaipa. This all-new neighborhood farmers market is open from 8 a.m. to noon on most Saturdays and carries some of the freshest produce in the Inland Empire. The Yucaipa and Cala Mesa Morning Market now open on most Saturdays at 13669 California Street in Yucaipa. 13669 California Street in Yucaipa. More information at 909-222-9293. That number again is 909-222-9293 or email successpartner@live.com. The all-new Yucaipa and Cala Mesa Morning Market, now open on most Saturdays in Yucaipa. Presented by Success Partner.
The song you are listening to has been passed down from one generation to another from our ancestors, whose call to teach and preserve our native culture is carried on today. We invite you and your family to join us in celebrating this legacy at California Native American Day on Friday, September 28th at 6 p.m. on the campus of Cal State San Bernardino. Enjoy an evening under the stars with California Indian people and experience traditional native food, music, and the arts. This free family event is brought to you by the San Manuel Band of Mission Indians and Cal State San Bernardino. We look forward to seeing you.
Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you with startup capital, business strategy, sales and marketing, and establishing your company with a physical location or on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea, the American Business Trust Company can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, you may visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com, or call them at 657-600-1876. That's the American Business Trust Company, 657-600-1876. Call them today. They can help your business right away.
Success Partner presents the all-new Yucaipa and Cala Mesa Morning Market, located on the corner of County Line Road and California Street in the city of Yucaipa. This all-new neighborhood farmers market is open from 8 a.m. to noon on most Saturdays and carries some of the freshest produce in the Inland Empire. The Yucaipa and Cala Mesa Morning Market, now open on most Saturdays at 13669 California Street in Yucaipa. 13669 California Street in Yucaipa. More information at 909-222-9293. That number again is 909-222-9293 or email successpartner@live.com. The all-new Yucaipa and Cala Mesa Morning Market, now open on most Saturdays in Yucaipa. Presented by Success Partner.
Broadcasting more local radio programs than any other station in California. We are KCAA.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. Is this like the happiest song ever?
I always love this song.
Of course, it reminds me of Daddy Daycare.
Yes.
So our kids, well, our daughter loved the movie Daddy Daycare, Eddie Murphy movie, and a whole bunch of other people in it. It's just really funny.
I just think it's funny that the little kid that played the Flash in that movie grew up to be the actual Flash on TV. I just thought that was amazing.
If you've got kids, you're going to want to see the movie. It's super cute. It really is super cute. Honeybees, there's been this we've talked about this colony collapse, and people have thought that glyphosate, or what is that called? The Monsanto's Roundup, glyphosate. Is the culprit. They couldn't really figure out how. Animals don't seem to be harmed by the world's most widely used weed killer, but bees apparently don't fall under that protective umbrella. This is really critical, one entomologist tells Science, of a new study showing the digestive system of honeybees, and possibly other bees as well, may be adversely affected by glyphosate, the main ingredient in Monsanto's Roundup. Until now, the herbicide has been thought innocuous to animals because it targets an enzyme only plants and microorganisms produce. Now, however, it seems glyphosate also messes with the gut microbiome. And we've talked about this on the show. That's the bacteria that can be found in the intestines of, I think, every creature.
Yep.
That protect against the opportunistic pathogens, which can ultimately make bees more vulnerable to infection. To test the herbicide, let me back up. That's according to a published study, and it was published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences Journal. To test the herbicide's effects, biologist Nancy Moran, her team fed 2,000 bees a sugar syrup, some laced with glyphosate. The bees that ingested the glyphosate mixture ended up with significantly lower levels of the gut bacteria Snodgrassella. Okay, that sounds made up.
It sounds weird, right?
Snodgrassella alvi. In later tests, just 12% of the glyphosate bees survived infection by an invasive bacteria. 47% of the non-herbicide eating bees lived. That's a huge difference.
Yes,
The Guardian, meanwhile, cites previous research that found glyphosate seems to have detrimental effects on honeybee larvae, the larvae survival, and on bees' cognitive functioning. Moran noticed that the S. alvi bacteria spits out a chemical that may be a fighter against other invasive bacteria. It also may offer protective shield by lining the gut wall. And this is according to The Guardian. A Monsanto rep insists claims that glyphosate has a negative impact on honeybees are simply not true. Well, what else are they going to say?
Right. Yeah, they don't want to be tagged with the ones who killed off the bees.
Right.
Wow. It's devastating, Aaron. It's devastating.
Well, I mean, we're getting closer to finding the actual link, the link that people have pretty much understood to be there. I mean, obviously science dictates that you have to find the connection, right? I mean, it's not proven until you prove it. But, intuitively and kind of watching what's been happening, people have been saying, look, we think it's Roundup, we think it's Roundup, we think it's Roundup, we think it's Roundup.
Yeah. And
certainly it seems to be the proof seems to be moving in that direction.
Yeah, and it's quite disturbing. And you think about all the things that people are doing now to try to deal with the loss of so many bees. I mean, I've seen robotic scientists trying to create little robot bees that can do what the natural bees do. I mean, how weird is that?
Well, because if we don't have bees, then we don't have food.
Yeah, the pollination process will be stunted, and a whole bunch of we'll begin to see major losses in the food supply.
So it's really interesting that they've identified the bacteria, and I wonder, you think about what's happened to human beings in the obesity crisis, in people are now much more sensitive to different kinds of foods. Gluten and dairy and, food allergies have just exploded. And it makes me wonder, is Roundup having an impact on our gut flora?
Yeah. Is the reality that it's not just the foods, it was all of this, the herbicides that were used that are now being carried over that are causing people problems. Yeah. And I think that's a logical and reasonable explanation for a lot of folks.
So with that, it's time for another break. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we will be right back.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, K292FQ Riverside, and K293CF Moreno Valley.
NBC News Radio, I'm John Jeffries. The Senate Judiciary Committee is planning to vote Friday morning to advance the Supreme Court nomination of Brett Kavanaugh. Senate Republicans have enlisted a female lawyer to question Christine Blasey Ford tomorrow when the hearing takes place. Rachel Mitchell is an Arizona prosecutor with experience in sex crime cases. 4 people are also backing up Dr. Ford's claim. The documents obtained by USA Today are by Ford's husband and 3 friends. In the meantime, a second accuser, Deborah Ramirez, admits she was drunk at a party when she claimed that Kavanaugh exposed himself to her, a point that President Trump didn't hesitate to bring up.
The second accuser has nothing. She admits time lapses.
The president insists that Democrats are playing a con game with the accusers. Meanwhile, Trump also played down laughs during his speech to the UN General Assembly yesterday. Some leaders laughed and some groaned when Trump said his administration had accomplished more than any other administration in the history of the U.S. John Jeffries, NBC News Radio.
It's time for traffic on KCAA. I'm Erin Brinker. In Corona on the 91 westbound between Main Street and Grand Boulevard, traffic is completely stopped. In Corona again on the 91 westbound after McKinley, an accident has been cleared. Stop-and-go traffic is backed up from La Sierra. In Ontario on the 15 southbound before Harupa Street, an accident has the right lane blocked, and there's stop-and-go traffic backed up from 4th Street. And finally in Grand Terrace on the 215 northbound before Barton Road, a stall has been cleared, but there's still some residual slowing. This has been your traffic report on KCAA. We are the stations that leave no listener behind. I'm Erin Brinker.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Alvin Washington. This morning, sunshine, hot, windy, high 98. Clear this evening, low 63. Sunny, hot on Thursday, high 99. Clear Thursday night. I'm Alvin Washington, broadcasting live from the Tri-City Center at the 10 and 210 freeways. We are the trifecta of talk in Southern California. KCAA, 102.3 FM, Riverside. 106.5 FM, Redlands, and The Legacy, 1050 AM, Loma Linda, San Bernardino.
Re-elect Riverside County Sheriff Stan Sniff on November 6th because Sheriff Sniff will keep our families safe. Let's keep a proven and experienced leader in this critical office as he continues to modernize our Sheriff's Department by integrating technology tools for his deputies and dramatically improving their training and equipment. Vote for experience, proven leadership, and integrity. Vote to re-elect Riverside County Sheriff Stan Sniff on November 6th. Paid for by Friends of Stan Sniff 2018. It's time to shop in the cool, relaxed comfort of the Tri-City Shopping Center in Redlands, conveniently located on the I-10 freeway between the Alabama and Tennessee exits. Bring the kids too and watch them play in the only indoor fun center, High Five Indoor Playground, where parents are welcomed on the playground. Birthday celebrations are encouraged, so make plans for some great fun at the mall. More reasons why the Tri-City Center is called the Mall with a Heart.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Well, give me all you got.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. Did you hear about what happened to Ted Cruz a couple of days ago?
I did.
And his wife?
It follows this pattern of sort of disgusting behavior towards elected officials, right? Where Sarah Sanders isn't even an elected official; she's an appointed official.
Anybody who's on the right side of the aisle.
But she got ran out of a restaurant, and now Ted Cruz and his wife have had the same thing, and these people are like videotaping it, and you know they're proud of their nastiness and it's really, really kind of disturbing. You know, he's heckled and jeered and called names, and these folks are proud of the fact that they're doing this. You know, they think that this is somehow politics at its best, but it's really not. It's the lowest and the worst form of politics.
So I am so excited to welcome our guest to the show. Madeline Paquette is a sommelier, but she's also, you know, like all creative people, she is also a music producer and songwriter, and she has written several books, or 2 books, on wine and kind of how to pick wine and what the best wine is. And now my computer is freezing up. Here we go. Got it. All right. She's a certified sommelier with the Court of Master Sommeliers and has worked in several restaurants as a sommelier or server before creating Wine Folly. Her design work with Wine Folly has been contracted by Wines of France, Wines of Bordeaux, Wines of Beaujolais, the Court of Master Sommeliers, the Guild of Sommeliers, the Washington State Wine Commission, the Rhone Valley Wines. In 2013, Wine Folly was named Wine Blogger of the Year for 2013-14 by International Wine and Spirits at an International Wine and Spirits competition. Besides drinking wine, writing, and designing for the blog, Madeline loves working on cars, cycling, running, and open water swimming. Before becoming a sommelier, Madeline was a music producer and a singer. So Madeline, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Thank
you
you
for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. So tell us about how your adventure and your journey into the love and passion about wine started.
Well, it starts with a little bit of a negative, but in 2008, there was a market crash, and I had purchased a house, and I lost my job. So I was scrounging around, and I went into a wine bar to drink my sorrows away, and the wine bar owner seemed to get along with me rather well, and I had some experience working in restaurants and that sort of a thing, and he hired me on to help him polish glassware and service on the weekends and give him a day off because he had just opened the wine bar. And this is basically my opportunity to indulge my passion. I'd been interested in wine, but didn't know a whole lot about it. And this is what started it all, was that working in that wine bar. It was a great opportunity. I was living in Reno, Nevada, of all places, and it could change your life, Reno, if you wanted to.
So, you know, I do enjoy wine, and there's certainly wines that I love and wines that I don't. I tend to like, the Sauvignon Blanc. I like the more sour wines, but I don't necessarily know how to pair them. You know, I know if you eat red meat, you want red wine, and if you eat lighter meat or fish, then you want white wine. But beyond that, you know, I have no idea. So your guides tell people, you know, and winefolly.com tell people how to go about picking those wines.
Certainly. Well, the first thing you need to do is, and you're already doing it here, is identifying your taste palette, and then to challenge yourself to taste wines not only within your own preferential taste, but outside of things you haven't tasted before. And different wine styles, because you want to build on what you're already working with. You know, you like acidic wines. You like Sauvignon Blanc. You like these, so you like white, refreshing wines. Maybe generally speaking. Well, there's many different regions around the world that make delicious Sauvignon Blanc, and there's also many different wines besides Sauvignon Blanc that you are going to love, and you just haven't tasted them yet. So in this book, we talk about the basics of wine. The first section covers the basics. There's a food pairing guide, and there's even a little bit about how wine is made and serving, storage, all the most important stuff. How am I going to live with wine, basically, and taste wine and get the most out of my tasting experience. And then the next section covers different grapes and wine varieties. There are about 100. Actually, I think there are exactly 100 grapes and wine. So a grape is Zinfandel, Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, and a wine would be something like Champagne or Rioja or Sancerre. They're regional wines, which have a regional specialty. So included both, because both are in the marketplace, and that's the best way to learn. Is you realize that some wines are blends. It's a Bordeaux blend, as everyone talks about. Cabernet Merlot, it's a blend with Cabernet and Merlot, and it comes originally from Bordeaux, France. And So when you learn about these different wines and you can go taste them, in this section there's actually other recommended wines that you might like. If you like Sauvignon Blanc, for example, you might like Gruner Veltliner, really great, delicious white wine from Austria that is absolutely fabulous and good high acidity and has some of those green characteristics that Sauvignon Blanc has. And then in the last section of the book, this is the second edition, so this is the one that got the biggest overhaul, is the regional guide. There's maps back there, and then there's mention of more regional wines from each area of the world, the major wine-producing countries of the world. So it's a way to sort of see what's out there and what you might like, but also once you have a bottle from there, to learn a little bit more about that region and more about its history and more about its specialty, and to taste it and to really absorb the knowledge of what that region is all about. So it's fun. It's meant to be used with a glass of wine, and I think that's how someone will get the most out of this book.
So what areas, as if you traveled the world or traveled the world with wine, if you weren't able to physically travel, what areas were the most surprising to you?
I'm always surprised by the regions we don't know a whole lot about. There's a lot of talk about France and Italy, and these are certainly wonderful winemaking countries of the world. But outside of these two places like Greece and Hungary and Portugal, not only are the wines exceptionally undervalued, so they're very affordable, but they come with amazing history and super delicious. So I'm always very excited about the underdogs. That's my personal passion. But I have been to those places and have been very impressed with what I've discovered.
So I'm going to jump in here. I'm glad you mentioned affordability. I'm kind of confused when I go to buy wine about the pricing, because sometimes I've bought wines that are not as expensive, that are really tasty and good, and then I see these ones that are super expensive, and I've got to try it, and I'm like, oh, really? And so can you explain to us how they do the pricing and how that relates to what you're getting?
Well, this is a funny thing, because wine transcends. Wine is on the fundamental and the value realm, wine is sort of a product. It's a beverage. It's an alcoholic beverage that we drink. But then it transcends that when you start to get more expensive into the art realm. Wine becomes a form of art. It's an experiential thing. It's a unique taste that you haven't tasted anywhere. So as consumers, it's very confusing. And when you are not trying to buy art and you want to buy something to drink that's good, it's very hard to find. But I will say, despite different regional differences, some regions are just expensive because they're popular, like Champagne and Napa. But you can usually find a great wine for under $30. And I'm saying great, like the best of the best. You can find some of the best Pinot Noir for around $30. Some of the best Cabernet Sauvignon, but you have to dig around to the value regions to find these wines. And this book, I'm hoping, will help open people's minds up to where they can seek out great values.
Well, we are out of time, and I could talk to you all for the entire show. This has been absolutely fascinating. The website is winefolly.com. Can you? And the book is Wine Folly Magnum Edition. Everybody needs to get out there and get that. Are you on social media?
Everything Wine Folly, yeah. Twitter, Instagram, it all.
Well, Madeline Puckett, thank you so much for joining us today. It has been delightful.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so with that, it's time for a break. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA. We'll be right back.
The Tri-City Shopping Center in Redlands is home to some of the best bargain shopping in the region. Citywear, Style for Less, and Dollar Tree, to name just a few. Friendly shop owners and staff are waiting for you to stop in for the many specials and bargains they're excited to share. The Tri-City Shopping Center is located just off I-10 between Alabama and the Tennessee exits in Redlands. Make it your home for all your shopping needs, and you'll know why the Tri-City Center is called the Mall with a Heart.
This segment is sponsored by Tammy Sutherland of Coldwell Banker Kivett Teeters Realty, where she makes it her business to put happy people in happy homes. It's Tammy Sutherland's passion to list your house and put you in just the right house that you could call home.
She made so much extra effort to sell our house and make sure that we understood every step of the way. Tammy always had our best interests at heart.
I didn't think we'd ever find a house we loved, but with Tammy's help, we did. Now I get to mow the lawn every weekend. But then again, that's why we had kids. Hey, Tyler!
Tammy did way more than we ever expected in a real estate agent. Without Tammy, we would still be renting.
So if you want your perfect house, contact Tammy Sutherland at Coldwell Banker Kivett Teeters Realty in Yucaipa, across from Yucaipa High School. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, it's homesbytammy.net or on Facebook at facebook.com/Realtor Tammy Sutherland at 909-556-2094 for Realtor Tammy Sutherland, and we thank her for her support.
If you're suffering from aches and pains, it's time to try Arbo Vitae Health and Wellness Dietary Supplement. Arbo Vitae contains pycnogenol, the most powerful, natural anti-inflammatory and antioxidant available, which is nature's way to support the immune system. Let Arbo Vitae help your body restore itself today. To order Arbo Vitae online, go to ARBORVITAEUS.com. To order by phone, call 800-570-0433. That number again, 800-570-0433. Arbo Vitae is proud to sponsor Fish Talk Radio. Check out the show on Facebook or visit the Fish Talk website at fishtalkradio.com. The first caller will receive a 30-day supply of Arbo Vitae with no obligation, so call now, 800-570-0433.
Hi, everybody. Ray Lucia here with some important information about debt, your debt. Whether you have a first or second mortgage, you're looking to buy or refi a home or rental property, or just need to consolidate your credit cards to lower your payments and save some serious interest, you need to do some loan financial planning with Steve Alladort, my mortgage man, at loanfinancialplanner.com. Now, Steve's not your garden variety mortgage broker. He actually spends time evaluating how you can use the current super competitive interest rates to pay off your mortgage early, purchase a rental property, improve your cash flow, upgrade to your dream home, or even help your kids or grandkids get into a house. That's what loan financial planning is all about. Steve's been helping me and my listeners for over 2 decades, and I can tell you he is the best finance guy in the business. Go to loanfinancialplanner.com. That's loanfinancialplanner.com.
Or call Steve Alladort at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070.
This is KCAA.
I stay out too late. Got nothing in my brain. That's what people say. That's what people say. I go on too many dates, but I can't make them stay. At least that's what people say. That's what people say.
Welcome back, Parent Drinkers.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. I love this song. It's feeling good this morning. Feeling good this morning. All right. Hump day. Oh, God. Now I'm going to have that in my head. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I aim to please.
So we are excited to welcome to our show Sherry Hunke, and welcome back to our show Sherry Hunke. She's the Director of Communications at Children's Fund, and Children's Fund joins us monthly to talk about all the incredible work that they're doing to support foster kids and kids at risk of being in foster care in San Bernardino County. Sherry Hunke, welcome back to the show.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. So how was your school supply drive? How did that go?
You know, it went really well. We are in the process of distributing. Well, actually, we've already distributed all the backpacks to the kids so they could start the school year with them. But I have some exciting news. The Pomona Fairplex, through a partnership with the LA County Fair, just delivered us all the proceeds from their school supply day, where you could bring school supplies and get into the fair for free.
Wow!
They brought us 3 full pallets, which is 11 giant boxes of school supplies.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
We are stocked up and ready to go to help kids throughout the year, to replenish, usually right after Christmas. It's time to get new pencils and glue and all that kind of stuff. So we'll be able to help kids throughout the year. So we're really excited about that.
I bet you are. You must have a warehouse somewhere to store all of that.
We do. The County of San Bernardino HSS warehouse gives us some space to store a couple things throughout the year. So we're grateful for their partnership with that as well.
Well, that sounds wonderful. So tell us about some other things that are going on at Children's Fund.
Okay. Well, this past weekend, I've been doing a lot of thinking about transitional aged youth. And that's a term that we kind of use to describe kids that are between childhood and adulthood. So depending on their circumstances, it could be age 16, 17, 18, to up to like age 23. And the reason I was thinking about them, especially this weekend, was a lot of the college freshmen were moving into their dorm rooms this past weekend. And it reminded me of some transitional age youth that we recently helped. We have some kids who had aged out of foster youth, but going on to college. And, when you think of college and move-in day, you think of all the families helping you bring in your big fluffy pillows and your brand new comforter set that you bought. And a lot of these kids, they don't have families to do that. And they don't have the funds to, deck out their new dorm room. So we were able to provide some gift cards to some youth so they could go out and pick out the extra large twin comforter set that they want and, a desk lamp, a shower caddy, everything that you need to survive in the dorm rooms. And they were able to do that this weekend. And
wow.
Yeah, it's really nice. Thank you to all the generous people that donate to Children's Fund, because it allows us to help kids like this. It's just fantastic. It feels so good.
Yeah, I bet it does. That's, there are things that people just don't think of. I mean, yes, there may be scholarships, et cetera, to help the kids get to college, but, there's all of this other stuff that's part of the college experience that there's no context for them. They don't have somebody who's helping them through that.
Exactly.
And so, that's got to be, tremendously helpful.
Exactly. And youth, when you go to college, think of any kids that you might have had that went off to college. The academics is just a very small part of the struggle your first year. It's the emotional support, the encouragement that you really need. And a lot of these youth don't necessarily have that. So we're really lucky to fund a program called the Renaissance Scholars at both Cal State San Bernardino and Cal Poly Pomona. And that is a peer mentoring organization, I guess. And they help the incoming freshmen. They're all foster or former foster youth. And the upperclassmen help the younger ones sort of make that transition. And everything from, here's what classes to take, or encouragement, you can do it. I know it seems hard, but you can do it, to things like, I know you don't have money for food, so let me show you where you can go get some assistance.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
And I guess, that's really the best practice, because, it used to be we would just give scholarships and we didn't, do any of the other kind of mentoring or that sort of work, and kids, they would fail because they're walking on a tightrope,
right?
With no net.
Exactly. Our president and CEO, Sid Pinedo, likes to say, access without support is not opportunity.
It's not.
Yep.
It's not. So tell us about gearing up for the holidays. What are you all doing?
Well, it's funny. We are celebrating our 30th year of our Celebration of Giving toy campaign. And I can't believe that Children's Fund has been collecting and distributing toys at Christmas time for 30 years, but we have.
Wow.
We're super excited. And this year we want to make it the biggest and best year ever, which is going to be hard to do because last year we collected and distributed 33,000 toys.
Holy smokes.
Isn't that a lot? But you know what? We just scratched the surface. There's 175 children living in poverty in San Bernardino County. And so we just scratched the surface of what the need is. So we're really asking businesses, families, church groups, Bible studies, running clubs, any group of people who are willing to do a toy drive for Children's Fund to reach out to us. And we'll get you all the posters and boxes and everything that you need and let you know how it all works. because we really want to serve more kids this year.
And what kind of supplies? I mean, everybody, and we talk about this every year. People remember the toys for the little ones, but tweens and teens need Christmas gifts too.
Absolutely. Let's go back to that transitional aged youth, and these are the kids. Probably for us, it's age 13 to 18. That they just, I don't know if you have teenagers, but they're really difficult to buy for. Once you figure out what they like, then it changes on a dime. So
yes, our kids are now in their very early 20s, and we know exactly what you're talking about.
It's just like that. So what we do at Children's Fund is for these youth, we give them a $25 gift card to Target or a $25 gift card to Walmart, depending on what store is in their local area, and they get to have a shopping experience. A lot of kids don't get to go buy new things. And this gives them the opportunity to go into the store, pick out exactly what they want, have that experience of shopping for themselves, and that's what we choose to do for the older kids. So not only are we looking for gifts for the little kids, but we're also looking for cash donations or gift card donations so that we can provide that to the older kids.
The older kids?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's great. And when does that drive officially kick off?
We usually do it from December 1st through December 15th, but the 1st and the 15th are on a Saturday. So I believe the dates are December 3rd through December 14th. And we're producing all of our posters and our mailing materials. We'll have that done pretty soon, and then we'll get all the information up on our website where people can actually download gift tags and posters and all that kind of stuff that they can pass around the office.
So are you all participating in Give Big San Bernardino County?
We are. We're super excited. This is our 5th year participating, and that's on October 30th. If all your listeners don't know, that's the day where you log on to a website, which is givebigsbcounty.org, and you read a description of the 100 or so nonprofits that are participating, and you pick your favorite and make a small donation to them. And it really makes a huge difference in the nonprofit sector. It's a great program because it exposes the wonderful work that this entire county has with all the nonprofits doing great things for people, and I just love participating every year.
So what if you want to do a recurring donation? Because I know you can make one-time donations on your website. If you want to do a recurring donation, is it easy to do? Yes, it is. It is. On our donation page on our website, there's just a button that you press that says, is this a one-time donation or a recurring donation? And if it's a recurring donation, we just every month at the same time we go in and make a small charge to your credit card. We have several people who do that, and it's such a tremendous help. It's money that we can depend on month after month, and it's just fantastic. So Sherry Hunke, as always, it's been a treat having you on the air. Let people know one more time how they can get a hold of you. Well, fantastic. You can always call our office at 909-379-0000 or visit our website, which is simply childrensfund.org. Sherry Hunke, thank you so much for the incredible work that you and your team do at Children's Fund and for joining us again this month. Thank you for your support. We appreciate it. So with that, we are at the end of our show for today. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
Have a wonderful Wednesday, everybody. We will see you tomorrow. And I'm playing this again because it's my show, and I like it.
I say out too late. Got nothing in my brain. That's what people say. That's what people say. I go on too many dates, but I can't make them stay. At least that's what people say. That's what people say.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
I'm Chuck Kamlick, CNBC. It's Fed Day on Wall Street. Interest rates are expected to rise. We'll see how quickly banks raise their loan rates to customers after that. Stock futures are flat for now. Interest rates for home loans are up already, close to 5% now, but mortgage applications rose last week anyway. Americans bought more Nike sneakers and apparel, but cost rose too. That squeezed margins. Nike stock will fall. Delta back to normal after a tech issue stopped all outgoing flights last night. CBS has a new interim chairman. Richard Parsons used to run Time Warner. Now he'll lead the search for a replacement for Les Moonves. Merck has changed its policy so its CEO Ken Frazier can remain after he turns 65 next year instead of having to retire. You've probably taken SurveyMonkey's online questionnaires. Now you can buy the stock. Starts trading today at $12. And M&M's coming out with a new hazelnut flavor for the candy, giving Nutella fans a new option. Chuck Kamlick, CNBC.
It's the little things. Like finding $20 in the wash. Woo! Jackpot! Or knowing where to shop online for all the newest styles and best deals around. Stage.com, of course. Visit Stage.com today for incredible sales, our newest markdowns on clearance, more extended sizes, and even more choices. Plus, check out today's deals online for daily coupons and offers. Fresh styles, big savings, and fun perks every day. Stage.com. Little things mean everything. Offer exclusions apply.
Results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services. If you owe the IRS back taxes, payroll taxes, or have not filed your returns, the IRS will get you. They can take your property, take you to court, even put you in jail. With one call to WALL, you'll never need to talk to the IRS again. Our average client settles for about 10% of what is owed. We offer free face-to-face consultations in your local area. Call 800-727-0433. That's 800-727-0433.
NBC News Radio, I'm John Jeffries. It's another gridlock alert day in New York with tight security for President Trump's United Nations visit. Sarah Lee Kessler reports.
Sanitation trucks are parked nose to nose outside Trump Tower, where the president spent the night after delivering remarks that drew derisive laughter when he touted his administration's accomplishments.
America's so true.
Trump has a busy schedule today, chairing a UN Security Council session. He'll also meet with the leaders of Israel, Britain, and Japan. Sarah Lee Kessler, NBC News Radio, New York.
Republicans are choosing a female prosecutor to question Christine Blasey Ford at Thursday's Senate hearing. Ford has accused Supreme Court Judge nominee Brett Kavanaugh of sexual misconduct. Arizona prosecutor Rachel Mitchell will do the questioning on behalf of the 11 Republican men on the Judiciary Committee. Mitchell is a registered Republican who specializes in prosecuting sex crime cases. John Jeffries, NBC News Radio.
It's time for traffic on KCAA. I'm Erin Brinker. In Fontana on the 210 westbound between Cherry Avenue and the 15, there's completely stopped traffic. In Riverside on the 91 eastbound between Mission Inn Avenue and the 215-60 freeway, there's stopped traffic. In Corona on the 91 westbound between Grand Boulevard and Auto Center Drive, there's again stopped traffic. This has been your traffic report on KCAA. We are the stations that leave no listener behind. I'm Erin Brinker. This report is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Temecula. With the 2019 models arriving, it's a great opportunity to drive a 2018 model at a really dreamy price. Mercedes-Benz of Temecula, a Fletcher Jones company.
Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you start up with capital, business strategy, sales, and marketing, and establish your company with a physical location or an online presence on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea. Then American Business Trust can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com. Or call them at 657-600-1876. That's American Business Trust Company. 657-600-1876. Call them today. They'll help your business right away. That's American Business Trust Company. Online at abtrustco.com. American Business Trust Company.
Success Partner presents the all-new Yucaipa and Cala Mesa Morning Market, located on the corner of County Line Road and California Street in the city of Yucaipa. This all-new neighborhood farmers market is open from 8 a.m. to noon on most Saturdays and carries some of the freshest produce in the Inland Empire. The Yucaipa and Cala Mesa Morning Market now open on most Saturdays at 13669 California Street in Yucaipa. 13669 California Street in Yucaipa. More information at 909-222-9293. That number again is 909-222-9293 or email successpartner@live.com. The all-new Yucaipa and Cala Mesa Morning Market, now open on most Saturdays in Yucaipa. Presented by Success Partner.
KCAA, where every day is a great day. I'm Stephanie Miller.
It's the Stephanie Miller Show.
This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes. 'Cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me.
It is the Stephanie Miller Show. Welcome to it. The Essential Malcolm Nance coming up. The Essential House Judiciary Chair Representative Adam Schiff, all coming up on the big show this morning. Okay. So this would be this morning's morning stack. Kavanaugh's choir boy image on Fox interview rankles former Yale classmates. Oh, there's a money quote. Let's see. Brett was a sloppy drunk, and I know because I drank with him. What is it? His freshman roommate is like, oh no, that's entirely what he did to Debbie Raniere is entirely consistent with who he was in his whole circle.
Yeah.
Yes. Jackasses. Okay. Roger in Reston, Virginia. Steph, I attended my second Sexy Liberal show this past Saturday in D.C. This time I took along my wife, Leslie. Hi, Leslie. Who we laughed the entire time. It was fantastic. Thank you, Roger. And then I got to say, mostly a lot of love letters for my mad booking skills for nailing Jill Winebanks down live on the air yesterday to do panel for Sexy Liberal Chicago. You know what I did? I name dropped Jan Schakowsky. I used Jan Schakowsky as bait, and I just
You didn't say panel to her, though.
Yes, I did.
Not on the air.
No, everyone on Twitter corroborates my story.
Get the tapes. Okay.
Yeah,
you said Jill. You said that Jan Schakowsky's going to be on panel. You didn't say, do you want to do panel with me?
She knows.
She does now because I sent her an email, but she hasn't responded.
Joe from Massachusetts says, Stephanie, that was masterful getting Jill Winebanks for Chicago. When you mentioned Jan Schakowsky, Jill had... I'm not above using people for bait. Congratulations, Joe from... You're welcome.
You're like the Mueller investigation.
Your dog's a goat.
All right, so we have, yes.
You
Margaret
used Jan
Cho.
Schakowsky to get Jill Winebanks. Now you're going to use Jill Winebanks to get who else?
Yes. Who knows? Who knows what I'm plotting?
You're like Mueller. You've been studying.
Avenatti.
And by the way, Chicago is already close to selling out, so I would hurry because we have Margaret Cho, John Fugelsang, Jan Schakowsky, and just added on panel Jill Winebanks. He's so jealous, Sean, of my booking skills.
Not confirmed.
She is confirmed.
Not confirmed.
I got a million letters and everybody on Twitter said yes. Of course, she said yes.
Hey, Janie, get out.
All right.
Your dog's a goat.
What's Jamie up to?
She's a
Use
goat.
the garbage can where the
eating paper.
chocolate wrappers go.
Okay. Brian Krasenstein tweets, breaking GOP Senator Lisa Murkowski now wants the Senate panel to hear from Kavanaugh's second accuser, Debbie Ramirez. In other words, this is going to drag on long enough for probably several more women to come forward. Yeah, I mean, do they think we don't see that they are racing to get ahead of the news cycle and more witnesses and more corroboration? And that's like, Travis, like you said, these women didn't even want to come forward. Deborah Ramirez admits, well, I was drinking. They're 10 times more honest than Brett Kavanaugh is.
It feels like the 2000 hanging chads thing.
A lot of other people corroborated and knew the story, just the Debbie Ramirez story.
That's why the reporters started calling her.
Yeah. That's why Dr. Ford has 4 witnesses, sworn testimony from 4, it's okay.
Because he's been talking about this stuff for years, not just since Kavanaugh was.
Yeah.
It feels like the 2000 election when they wanted to just finish the, no, we don't want to count all the votes. This is fine. George Bush won the election. Let's just get it over with. Go.
Senator Murkowski She was asked about an FBI investigation.
Is it time for the FBI to investigate these allegations?
I don't know how long an FBI investigation takes. I think it's important to remember that it would be part of a continuation of the background check. There has been multiple background checks on Judge Kavanaugh. So I'm not the one that can answer that question in terms of timing.
They're trying to have it all ways, right?
Yep.
You know, I mean, this is what always happens when new information comes out. You reopen the background check. They're not even asking for a criminal investigation. They're asking that the FBI
does
reopen
a full background.
Yeah.
Now I'm hearing claims that the FBI has investigated him 6 times, but this is before all this information came out. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
So that's moot.
There was an article yesterday about a Bush era Treasury Secretary, and she said that the FBI didn't find out about. I didn't talk about that there were
sexual
harassment claims against me.
Yeah.
Until after the fact, they don't discover that stuff.
70-something% of I believe is the statistic does not get reported.
Yep.
Of sexual assault. I mean, it's just these men are so unbelievably ignorant. It's okay. Joyce Eileen tweets, Mitch McConnell calls the lawyer the GOP senators on the judiciary have hired to do their job of questioning Dr. Ford for them a female assistant. And shockingly, none of the other GOP senators show any surprise at the disrespect.
Yeah.
Okay. And wow, how could you have picked someone? So she worked with Joe Arpaio in. Okay.
And there's like 4,000 rape kits that haven't been checked there. You know.
Yeah.
She's got stuff to do at home.
Yeah. She's okay. Anita in San Antonio. Hello, Anita.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I don't think Mitch McConnell has the vote.
Yeah, I don't either.
If you listen to Bob Corker, he said there's.
Even though he doesn't blink, you can tell, right, that he's just like, I think. And don't you love the way he put it? I think we're going to win. Oh, I see. So screw all these
that's
women.
what it's
again.
about, winning.
They asked him if he had the vote, and he didn't answer it. He said, "We're gonna confirm him," but he didn't say they had the votes. Bob Corker says there's quite a few Republicans that he knows that haven't decided to vote for him, and this whole thing about rushing it. From what I understand from a reporter on Capitol Hill, I don't remember. I think it was CNN, said that a lot of the senators are upset because they feel like he's rushing it, and that might backfire, and they may not be able to vote for him because it's been rushed.
I think they're terrified, Anita. I think they're doing everything they can to get her to drop out of this because I think, first of all, it's so clear that it's a sham hearing, right? Yep. No FBI investigation, no witnesses, not even the guy she places in the room
50
with
minutes of
Kavanaugh.
questions.
That is so ridiculous.
Right, but I think she's so credible. They're terrified anyway that I don't know how you're Susan Collins or Lisa Murkowski and hear this woman who's only one of the women now and vote for him, right?
Yeah, I don't get it either. I don't know why they say, well, we want to hear both sides. And what are they talking about? What is going to change their mind?
I love this. GOP leaders likely seeming to avoid the optics of the 1991 Anita Hill hearings. If it's possible, Anita, they've already made this worse.
Yeah.
Yes.
People, we see what you're doing. Like now you look like cowards.
It's like you're admitting.
Yeah. But they want to rush it, so we don't have time to call our senators after the hearing. So right now, we need to do that.
Yep.
There are senators that are, on the fence. Everyone needs to get on the ball, call your senators, and tell them first of all, they want a fair hearing because they want more than 5 minutes for their senator, for the Democrats, and also they want witnesses to be able to appear. And they should subpoena them if they won't appear.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. All right, thank you, Anita. Here's Yertle.
We're looking for the truth here.
Sure,
I don't think because you happen to be a male, you're disqualified from listening to the evidence, from
judging her, is what he's saying,
and making a decision based upon the evidence. As I said earlier, and I think you already know, we have hired a female assistant.
Seriously, just that makes him seem.
Well, he just contradicted himself.
Right.
We shouldn't be disqualified from hearing the evidence, but we know the optics look bad. So
we got a little.
What he's saying is we can judge her.
Right.
Yeah.
We can judge her all we want, but we're not going to be.
We'll be in the back in our black robes from Slytherin.
Yeah. I was reading through the original New Yorker piece just about the Debbie. I mean, what justification have they given for why they're not going to hear from her. Obviously, her account corroborates Ford's. That's why.
Yes.
But a classmate of Ramirez's said another student told him about the incident either on the night of the party or the next day or two. The classmate said he's 100% sure he was told at the time that Kavanaugh was the student who exposed himself to Ramirez. He independently recalled many of the same details offered by Ramirez. It's been on my mind all these years when his name came up. It was a big deal. Yes. The classmate said he had been shocked but not necessarily surprised because the social group to which Kavanaugh belonged often drank to excess. And he was the one that said Kavanaugh became an aggressive, belligerent drunk, right? Let's see. There's another member of the class at Yale said Kavanaugh's college behavior had become a topic of a discussion among Yale students after Kavanaugh's nomination. That's where all this New Yorker reporting comes from.
It's important because this guy is sitting on the highest court.
You can't hold the truth in. Everyone is like, are you kidding me? That guy? Right? Like Drunky McBlackout.
This guy's going to be on the Supreme Court? Yeah, are you kidding me?
Drunky McRapey. Right. Yeah. Ramirez ultimately decided to begin telling her story publicly before others did so for her. She had heard from a bunch of reporters, and it was like, what are you going to do at some point? She wasn't the one that came forward. A lot of classmates were the ones that, like, this story was well known.
You know how she's a smart one?
Yeah.
Because she told it to Ronan Farrow, and he gets it done.
Yeah. Ronan Farrow's watching.
If you're going to tell someone, tell Ronan.
Yeah.
These women are all Christopher Walken Johnny in the Deadpool. Dead Zone. They're shaking his hand and seeing terrible visions of Kavanaugh on the court. You got to stop him, Johnny.
All right, more Yertle.
To go on staff and to ask these questions in a respectful and professional way.
Oh,
okay.
I want this hearing to be handled very professionally, not a political sideshow like you saw the put on by the Democrats when they were questioning Judge Kavanaugh.
Oh, just the Democrats.
Oh, you mean asking about his record, 90-something% of which you're hiding?
Yeah, Kamala Harris, be very careful. Did you ever talk to anybody at this law firm?
Casa who? Casa what's what?
Be very careful how you answer this. What?
Devil's Triangle.
So who's putting on the sideshow? Man, McConnell. How is he married? Who is this woman? Who are her parents or her relatives?
She's the Secretary of Transportation.
Run away! Why are you still with the turtle? He's slow. He can't catch you.
He got her a job in the administration.
Where are you going?
That's why.
Come back. Just walk away. You don't even have to get in the car. Just walk.
Can I just say, just to believe in justice for a moment, watching Bill Cosby have to walk out of that courtroom
delightful
in handcuffs. Oh, I mean, it just, at least there was one message yesterday. Except how many women had to come forward?
60.
Right? Someone said if you believe the first woman, he might not have raped the next 100 or however many there ended up being, right? Yeah.
Hopefully it's Trump next. And
Trump was hoping he'd get off so he could be the nominee.
Okay,
all right. I was hoping you could do something about it.
Don't recall the time when the thing in the high schools and the girls and the testimony, the dad, what stays in the Georgetown happens at the George Tech school. See, it stays there. You understand?
Hello, Paul in Seattle. Hello.
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 So the question for Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins and frankly everyone is, what kind of allegation would warrant reopening an FBI investigation?
Right.
If felony assault isn't enough, the next step is murder. So
I
don't know. The other thing about Deborah Ramirez is people say, well, she was very inebriated. That actually makes her claim more credible because no one would make it up that he stuck his genitals in my face, but I was really drunk.
Right. Well, and it also goes to the testimony. Well, I can't keep track of who's who now, but that testified that he was part of, that's what they did is try to get women drunk or,
That's Avenatti's.
Right. Yeah. And like that's new, Paul, that men try to get women drunk to take advantage of them.
Stanford.
Yeah.
It's the format with Blasey Ford, too.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, Malcolm Nance coming up. That's all I can say. The bottom of the hour. The only man that can still save the Republic. Oh, him and Adam Schiff.
Well, I booked him yesterday. I said, you'll be here for the collapse of democracy.
Yeah, fantastic. No. We're going to march to save democracy November 3rd.
Yes.
He'll tell us more about that as well. 19 minutes after the hour. This portion of the show brought to you about the need to impeach. That even seems like a mild word now, doesn't it, for what's happening?
It's just too soft a word.
It's not enough just to complain about Trump. Let's do something about it. That is why our friend Tom Steyer started the needtoimpeach.com petition. Over 5.7 million people have already signed to hold Trump accountable for his reckless lawlessness. We cannot, it's all happening, people. Packing the courts with people like Kavanaugh, getting ready to pardon his family and co-conspirators. We can't wring our hands as he actively undermines Mueller's investigation. No one is above the law. Right now, Trump backed into a corner with the bag of rats. Okay. And desperate. Thank you. But Congress does not have the courage to act. It is up to us, the American people, to keep the pressure on. If you agree, go to needtoimpeach.com forward. I don't know how to do it. Needtoimpeach.com. Just do it. Just do it. It's also, there's a need to vote. He's helping with getting out the vote.
Yep.
It's all important. Sign the petition. Find other ways to fight back. Like vote, vote, vote. Americans have the power to act. Join us at needtoimpeach.com/action. Paid for by Tom Steyer.
Yeah.
To be honest, I've never seen such dysfunction.
It's the Stephanie Miller Show.
We'll be back. I'm Stephanie Miller on KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM. Stephanie Miller here. If you suffer from allergies like I do, maybe asthma, or get sick too often, listen up. I researched home air purifiers. Here are the facts. That HEPA technology we thought cleaned the air we breathe was invented during World War II. It traps mostly large particles. The problem? The air in our homes often contains micropollutants like bacteria and mold, which can make you sick. And HEPA filters can't destroy those. I replaced the HEPA filters in my home and studio with Molecule air purifiers. Molecule. Molecule. It's the only air purifier that actually works. It's so good it was one of Time Magazine's best inventions of 2017. Molecule does more than trap airborne pollutants. It destroys, I repeat, destroys them with nanotechnology before you inhale them and get sick. Do what I did. Get a Molecule and destroy. Don't collect pollutants. You'll breathe easier and sleep better almost immediately. It's the happiness guarantee. Not happy in 60 days? Send it back for a refund. Visit getmolecule.com. That's Molecule, and save $75 with the promo code Miller. Promo code Miller at getmolecule.com. Summer's behind us. I've got just the idea to
digital network advertising, where businesses display your ad inside their building. If a picture's worth 1,000 words, your company is going to thrive with digital network advertising. Choose your marketing sites or jump on the DNA system and advertise with all participants. Your business ad or logo is rotated multiple times an hour inside local businesses where people will discover your company. Digital network advertising. DNA, a novel way to be seen and remembered. Digital network advertising with networks in Redlands and Yucaipa. Call in the 909 area 222-9293 for introductory pricing. That's 909-222-9293 for digital network advertising. One last time, digital network advertising, 909-222-9293.
Are you occasionally stressed, feeling fatigued? It doesn't have to be this way. Support your body's response to all kinds of stress. Promote energy levels and nurture a sense of well-being with Quantum Nutrition Lab's stress support, B12, and adrenal support. For a limited time, all three are on special. Buy 2 bottles and get the third one free. Call 888-588-7578. That's 888-588-7578. Or visit us online at qnlabs.com. That's qnlabs.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Marshall, PhD, host of Healthline. Tune in to get your questions answered and hear the latest breakthrough information for you and your family. Our product line, Quantum Nutrition Labs, delivers what others only promise, nutrition that really works.
How many commercials do you hear every day claiming to be the best weight loss program ever? The only problem, you spend a lot of money, you lose the weight, you gain it back. Plus, when all it takes is adding protein to your diet. Protein gives you what you need and reduces hunger. NutriPro is pure protein. It's not the newest fad. It's not the latest weight loss program, but it helps to stop those daily cravings safely. There's no magic. It's simply a 2-ounce shot of protein taken twice a day, 20 grams of pure, clean protein in every shot with absolutely no carbs, no fat, and no sugar. Feel full faster and keep feeling full longer. It never requires refrigeration, mixing, or dilution. It is simply easy access to protein anytime, anywhere. But it's not available in stores. It's available directly from the manufacturer. Go to myproteinnow.com and try a 20-count trial pack today. Go to myproteinnow.com for a special introductory offer, including shipping. Do it right now. myproteinnow.com.
KCAA, less consternation and more innovation. That's right, I'm Stephanie Miller.
Stephanie Miller.
Yeah, it is the Stephanie Miller Show. Welcome to it. Yes, wearing my I am sorry about our president in every language t-shirt. Alt federal employee tweets, the UN General Assembly highlights the fact that there are current world leaders with doctorates in quantum chemistry, quantum physics, and economics and political science. The U.S. president is a racist, failed reality show host under investigation for treason who can't even spell.
Or add up his golf card correctly.
We're working on it, world. We're working on it. We're sorry. Sue in Rockville. Hello, Sue.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
You know, I am so tired of feeling enraged and being disgusted and thinking, instead of being negative, how can I channel this into something more positive? And this morning I came up with an idea. Instead of a blue wave, let's have a purple wave. And I mean take all the power of the women's movement, the pink wave of women who want change, and the blue wave of Democrats who have said enough, and put them together, and we get a huge purple wave that will wash away these GOP men and these Republicans who are so regressive. So I'm asking everyone to promote Purple Wave, and I put up a little, meme and everything. But let's not, in November we will remember. Well, November's 6 weeks away.
Yep.
Let's remember and wash these bastards away. It's enough already.
Yep.
Oh,
exactly.
boy. Rocky Mountain Mike. Jimi Hendrix, Purple Wave.
Uh-oh.
Here it comes.
One of his Yale classmates tweeted, perhaps Brett Kavanaugh was a virgin for many years after high school, but he claimed otherwise in a conversation with me during our freshman year in Lawrence Hall at Yale, in the living room of my suite. Wow. Mitch McConnell said this yesterday.
I think we ought to take everyone seriously. We're going to have the hearing on Thursday. That's to give us enough evidence of a way to evaluate the two people who could be the only people who apparently know anything about this.
No.
Listen to the evidence, evaluate the situation, and then vote.
And then have the hearing on Friday.
He knows that is bull, right?
Right.
They aren't the only two people. That's the problem.
Let's start with Mark Judge, the guy who was in the room, who's named in all the statements.
Right. Who's, by the way, whose girlfriend said it said he's lying. I mean, it's just there are witnesses that corroborate all of these accusers thus far.
I just can't stand that McConnell still has a wife. How much money do you
just get off
need?
that. All right.
She's actually the rich one.
Yeah.
Go.
Really?
Get
you
in the van.
Money and you're
leave.
She came from
a turtle anyway. Why?
Remember
man, you do so much better.
Her dad's shipping company brings all the coke in.
Yes. Oh, that's correct.
Cocaine Mitch.
That's right. It's our biggest cocaine supplier. So it's not like they're not doing anything.
I'm ready.
Good for the.
I hope you're on the bed ready for me. Sorry.
Oh God. Really? I've had to deal with mushroom Trump penis and now this.
No.
That's an actual turtle having sex. Thank you, Sean, for that. Okay. All right.
You didn't let him finish.
Bloatus. No.
Trying to make him into something.
I'm going to let you finish.
No, but let's be nice about it, that he's not. He's a high-quality person. He's a great intellect.
Very high quality.
You're also not seeing him on his footing. This isn't his footing. He's never been here before.
Oh.
He's never had any charges like this.
Oh.
I mean, charges come up
new.
from 36 years ago that are totally unsubstantiated.
Oh, yeah, no, not unsubstantiated.
They're very substantiated.
All right, I'm going to let you finish. Go ahead. Sorry. Okay. All right. Okay. Sorry. I didn't mean to Kanye West you, man. Go ahead. Okay. Hang on, it gets gross. Right? That one last push was, God love him. You're like, okay, now you got it.
Banging turtles and tap dancing corgis. Where else can you get him on the radio?
Nope.
Like Catherine Keener and 40-year-old virgin. That was good. That was good. Okay. 29 minutes after the hour.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, K292FQ Riverside, and K293CF Moreno Valley.
NBC News Radio, I'm John Jeffries. It's another gridlock alert day in New York with tight security for President Trump's United Nations visit. Sarah Lee Kessler reports.
Sanitation trucks are parked nose to nose outside Trump Tower, where the president spent the night after delivering remarks that drew derisive laughter when he touted his administration's accomplishments.
America's so true.
Trump has a busy schedule today, chairing a UN Security Council session. He'll also meet with the leaders of Israel, Britain, and Japan. Sarah Lee Kessler, NBC News Radio, New York.
Republicans are choosing a female prosecutor to question Christine Blasey Ford at Thursday's Senate hearing. Ford has accused Supreme Court Judge nominee Brett Kavanaugh of sexual misconduct. Arizona prosecutor Rachel Mitchell will do the questioning on behalf of the 11 Republican men on the Judiciary Committee. Mitchell is a registered Republican who specializes in prosecuting sex crime cases. John Jeffries, NBC News Radio.
It's time for traffic on KCAA. I'm Erin Brinker. In Ontario, on the 10 eastbound after Vineyard, an accident has the left lane blocked. In Fontana, on the 10 westbound before Cherry Avenue, an accident has the left lane blocked there, with stop-and-go traffic backed up from Cedar. Also in Ontario, on the 15 northbound at Harupa Street, a disabled vehicle has the center lane blocked. Stop-and-go traffic is backed up from Hidden Valley Parkway. This has been your traffic report on KCAA. We are the stations that leave no listener behind. I'm Erin Brinker.
If you think our government's war policy has become out-of-this-world cuckoo, consider the spaciness being proposed by the cosmonauts on Spaceship Trump. Spending nearly $700 billion a year on maintaining the 5 branches of the U.S. war machine, not counting the cost of actually fighting all the wars they get into, is not enough, they now tell us. So, prepare to soar militarily and budgetarily into a boundless war theater where none have gone before. Yes, outer space. It seems that Captain Trump himself woke up one morning in June and abruptly announced that he was bored with the fusty old Army Air